Hi, my name is Colby Cudney. I'm co-host of Blah Blah Comics, Blah Blah Curse Words on the Night Nerd channel, and I have been a huge fan of Gerard Way since I was about 10 years old. My Chemical Romance was massive for me, and Gerard Way's Umbrella Academy with Gabriel Ball was huge for me as well. One of the reasons that music and comics are my big two loves are in large part due to a lot of his work. So when Young Animal was announced and started putting out books a little over a year ago, not only was it a dream come true for me, but it exceeded all expectations. And in one way it exceeded that was the community it started gaining, and these incredibly like-minded people started joining together. That is the point of this little project here, of me trying to find that through line of what connects all of us, all these people with very different lives from very different parts of the country, parts of the world, and what brings us together under the Young Animal banner. Young Animal was presented as comics for dangerous humans, so I wanted to meet some of the dangerous humans. I hope you enjoy.
Hey, I'm Daniel Slagle. I'm from Acme Comics in Greensboro, and also from Grand North Carolina.
Hey, I'm Alex Fletcher from Boston.
I'm Nikki, and I'm from Tennessee.
So, how did you find out about Young Animal?
I'm a big Gerard Way fan, and also comic books in general. Mm-hmm. And it was like a big thing when it was coming out. They were like pushing it real hard.
Yeah.
And all the images that they were posting, and all the stuff, and just knowing that Gerard was able to work on Doom Patrol, which he's been like wanting to do forever, was like a really cool thing.
I was like, I was reading Twitter, like around last year or so, or was it last like June or something when that big press announcement came out?
Yeah.
Where they were like, "Hey, Gerard Way's got an imprint," and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's basically just the start of it, basically. I mean, he'd been a big influence on me for forever.
I've been a fan of Gerard Way / My Chemical Romance / his work for years, and then about a year ago, was actually my birthday, they announced the Young Animal panel, and I freaked out and kind of followed the thing ever since then, from like the first book to the latest stuff. Gerard
Way definitely seems to be the direct entry point for this for most people. So what is your favorite book out of the main titles?
It actually is hard. Like, it sounds cliche and everything, but like it actually is hard to pick like a favorite and everything. I think it's just going to have to come down to Doom Patrol, just because I love those characters so much.
Oh yeah.
I decided to do my homework before before number 1 came out for this new run, so I went back and read Grant Morrison, and I also read some of Rachel Pollack's run as well.
Very nice.
And I just fell deeply in love. So those are always going to be my favorite. But I love. Shade is, I think, probably like the closest a number 2 could possibly get, though. Shade is incredible.
I think my favorite is Shade.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Shade is... I love them all, but Shade and Doom hold a very special place for me.
Yeah, I just picked up the trade of Doom Patrol, and I'm reading through it again, because the first read-through was a bit, like, surreal.
Yeah, definitely.
So I definitely had to, like, go back and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of little bitty things that make sense later on, and you go back and reread it, you're like, oh, that makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, and I actually just read through Mother Panic again, too, and that one's, like, really good as well.
Oh, yeah, it's so fun. Like, Mother Panic and Cave, I don't know if they get enough credit, because they are so fun and have so many cool little things. Again, I don't notice until way later.
I love Cave, too. I mean, I love them all as well.
Oh, yeah,
Cave is really cool. I haven't picked up Bug yet.
I've really been enjoying Bug, and now it's the one thing I know, it's release scheduled. No one seems to know what's going on with it.
Yeah. I love the art, though, like the all-reds, right?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Probably the obvious opinion, I really like Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Other ones are good, but that one does, I get on a different level. So.
Yeah. Well, are you reading any other comics outside of Young Animal that's coming out currently?
Yeah, this actually opened up a whole world, and like my comics knowledge is actually more on the Japanese side of things for a long time. I've read a lot of manga and stuff. One Piece is my favorite, series and stuff. And then I because of Gerard Way and everything, I read some Umbrella Academy and things. So I dipped my toes a bit into comics before, but whenever Young Animal was prepping to come out and everything, I was like, I should probably get into some Rebirth stuff.
Yeah.
And so I've done that, and I have like a really big pull list now. So like I'm like fully in this comics mess right now.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So like Batman by Tom King.
Oh yeah.
Really, really interesting run, and There's some others. Wildstorm is really cool too.
No, I've been a big comics fan basically my whole life. My dad got me in when I was a kid, but I started like collecting in high school.
Oh, nice. What's some of the series that your favorite series?
I really love Batwoman.
Oh,
So
nice.
it was a nice surprise to see her in Mother Panic, even if it was brief.
Oh, no, yeah, I love Mother Panic's like little connections to the Bat family.
Yeah, that's so cool that they get to like bring it into Gotham. But I'm a huge Batman fan, and Preacher is my other favorite comic book.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, I could go on for hours.
Are you picking up any of the current like Rebirth stuff or any of the stuff at Marvel right now?
I'm picking up. I'm not a big Marvel fan, which I know people are like, no,
yeah.
but like, it's not piqued my interest since I was younger.
Yeah.
And so I've just kind of been sticking with DC. Comics are so big that like you have to have infinite money to get everything that you want. But I picked up a couple of the trades for Rebirth because I'm trying to take a break from single issues because it's so tiring to keep up with.
Especially with the double shipping right now at Rebirth.
Oh yeah. So I got the first 2 volumes of Batman by Tom King.
Oh, very nice.
It's super, super good.
I'm reading, all the Animal books. I'm reading some stuff from Image, Daily Class, Hillhopper,
nice.
Saga. I'm reading some stuff from Aftershock. I'm reading some Black Mask comics. I read little DC, mostly it's Batman, besides the obvious Young Animal. Marvel, I'm reading Super Empire, and Sword Surfer, and Infinite Iron Man I really like. That's still the main stuff from there, I think. I read a lot of books. I think you follow me on Instagram, so you see like stacks most weeks. So.
Yeah. So, kind of a big, grandiose question, but a question that I'm curious about. What does Young Animal like represent to you as an entity? Like, what is it? Why is it different from other comics coming out?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that Young Animal is, and the biggest thing that it accomplishes, is that it's a true to life. Just it's an art movement. It's a movement in comics. I think Young Animal just kind of like stands for a lot of artistic individuality for comics and stuff. Young Animal's like it's like a blossoming, like burgeoning, like little thing in comics right now. That's just like it's got so much inspiration and so much. It's really inspired and it's creative and it also plays with characters. And I think a big part of it that makes it special is because it is playing with characters like inside of DC and stuff. Whereas Image is very much like create our own stuff, and that's really awesome and stuff too. But I think it is very important to remind ourselves that we can play with and have like a lot of really, really crazy stuff happen to beloved characters and stuff too. So like Superman showing up in Cave Carson is like a really weird issue and stuff. And I know there's like some things that they told John Rivera, like, you can't do that with Superman. So he's like, okay, but he still did some weird stuff. Though, and it's really great. Yeah.
That issue is actually one of my favorites from the Cave run because it captures what Superman is all about, but it puts it in such a different world than we're used to seeing Superman.
Yeah, it's Cave Carson is so like surprising constantly because I'm just like, what even is this? It's awesome.
Oh yeah, very much.
It's actually really inspiring to me because I would love to write comics someday.
Mm-hmm.
Just knowing that if you like, like Gerard's kind of on the older side, but he like writes for young adults.
Yeah.
Like for people to just get into comics, that's the one thing that's like really cool to begin with. But just like the whole like inspiring nature that you can write weird comics, like stuff that's like not totally mainstream. It's not all superheroes. It's like people with strange backgrounds, like aliens, and lots of cool stuff. Just like also Mother Panic is like about like a damaged person.
Yes. Like
and a bunch of other damaged people and like, trauma backgrounds and stuff. I think that's really cool. Just like reaching out to those people.
Mm-hmm. They definitely touch on these different aspects of people and comics typically do. I mean, you have characters in the Bat family that are all damaged, but Violet in Mother Panic seems more relatable in how she's damaged, even though it's this extraordinary way.
Yeah, totally. She's a pretty relatable character. Like, she has all these problems and she tries to numb them with alcohol and sex and, stuff like that. But she has a terrible home life.
Oh yeah, I think it's for better or worse, something that a lot of people, even on a much smaller degree, know of or have related to at some point in their life, and it's a very cathartic experience to kind of see that play out on a page in a grandiose superhero way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For me, it's like really inspiring in this weird way. I mean, you hear about people in the '90s being in love for like Sandman, Doom Patrol, and shit, the Changeman. And like, I didn't get to have that era of comics for like, this is my weird stuff that no one talks about, but like the people did, you know, were super into it. It's kind of cool having Young Animals. For me, it's kind of like Vertigo of now.
Yeah.
That I really appreciate and get inspired by. I'm like, man, I want to make crazy stuff based off that. But at the same time, there's an element of like, it's the weird alternative thing in the corner that nobody cares about, it seems like. So.
No, I completely agree. We've talked in depth before about how this does feel like a Vertigo renaissance in a way that I know they tried to do with Vertigo a couple years ago, and those books were really solid, but this just feels more like that same spirit, and it doesn't feel forced. It feels like artsy books for artsy people, and I mean that in the best way, no insult. Because, of course, as someone who has devoted a lot of time to it, I would hope there's no insult. Well, kind of looking towards the future of Young Animal, what is it that you want to see from them in the future? Is there like a certain character you want to see, a certain type of story, or what do you want from them?
I generally just kind of want to see it get bigger. Like, I kind of just want to see like more and more of this. The biggest ones that I always come to if you asked me like a month ago, my big answer would have just been I want to see someone do a comedy book with Plastic Man.
Okay,
Plastic Man's going to be in the Terrifics. So he's probably not really free for that.
No, yeah.
My two other ones are Animal Man and Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I think Animal Man has a lot of fans in the Young Animal community, and would love to see Animal Man or a member of his family or something from that part of comics show up in Young Animal.
Yeah, that's the other big Grant Morrison run from Vertigo. That's like That's I mean Jeff Lemire did his DT2 stuff. I've not read that, but
it's really solid.
It's not really been represented.
Oh no, I would say for me personally, Grant Morrison's and Jeff Lemire's run were my two favorites, but there also aren't a ton of Animal runs to begin with, so it's not like a huge pool.
Yeah, it's he deserves more love. Both in like. Both actually from fans and stuff, and also just in his own book. Like, he deals with so much shit. I feel bad for him all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
his life sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. No matter, he kind of has the John Constantine look of no matter who's writing him, he's going through hell.
Yeah, very much.
Oh, you know what would be cool? Babs Tarr.
Yes.
Who does Motor Crush.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see her at least do some covers or something.
Oh yeah.
Her art is phenomenal. And Brandon Fletcher, I think he could bring something to it because he's like really good with like, cool, crazy, kind of like futuristic in a way, like, and also like queer representation.
Yeah, I think,
and like people of color. Like, I would love to see more of that in Young Animal for sure.
And I definitely think Young Animal is a place that would do it and handle it properly.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think they have a good place in Image, but I think, if anything in the mainstream, like, 2 books, like, Young Animal's a good place for, like, Image creators to go.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. Especially with Vertigo being in such a weird way. I think Young Animal, in my opinion, has kind of taken the baton from Vertigo and just running with it.
Yeah, I mean, they're still creating Vertigo books, which is funny. Like, Clean Room.
There's still
and,
a
couple other books.
There's some great books coming out at Vertigo, but it seems... I don't know. I don't want to say overshadowed, but it just seems to be not as in the limelight as Young Animal or other books right now.
I agree, but I think Young Animal is like the new exciting thing, so everybody's kind of like really going with that right now.
Oh yeah, because there does seem to be just excitement with it, especially with Gerard Way being Gerard Way and just having his fan base, and with
of course.
With the diehards, and also kind of not exactly filling the void that My Chemical Romance left behind, but I think a lot of people that were looking for more My Chem almost gravitated to Young Animal just to get almost their fix.
Yeah, and there's like that awesome musical element about it.
Oh yeah, I know he's talked about doing more with that, and I so hope he does, because I loved what they did for Record Store Day, and...
do you have one?
Yes, I was lucky enough to get one.
I have one, and do you have the tape too?
Yes, I actually do.
Me too.
Nice, yeah.
I went out of my way to go get both of them, but...
I did too. I was on eBay like the morning after, what was it, Comic-Con or whichever one had the tape, and I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta get it. I don't care. As long as it's under $50, I'll get it. I don't care.
I found it for like $15.
Yeah, I got it. I got it for similar. Last I checked, they've gone up a bit, but
Yeah.
I feel
They're
like
selling one at like one of my local stores for like 40 or something.
yeah.
Which like isn't too ridiculous. Like they didn't make that many.
No, yeah, there's one thing I want. It's that stupid Flexman towel, like beach towel that they had. That
Oh, I didn't see that.
yeah, they had it. I think it was a Comic-Con like the year last year when they announced it, and I have no clue where to find those or how much they'd be. Anytime I look, I get no results, but I've seen them. I know they exist.
Oh, that's so cool. I entered the sweepstakes, but I didn't win it. But that
Yeah.
Blacklight shade poster,
Oh yeah.
I wanted that so bad. It's like that would be so cool to have. I don't have a Blacklight, but it's a cool poster.
I know.
regardless.
That's my problem with like all the Young Animal stuff is anytime they release even small merch or small giveaway, I do go out of my way for it. I'm hoping in the future we get more stuff like that because I would love for that to be on the level, even just like action figures or something or statues or something dumb I could put up. I would go out of my way to buy that.
Oh yeah, I would love that for sure.
I'd like to see Grant do something that'd be kind of funny. Have Grant there for a second.
Yeah, that would be very, very awesome.
Don't see it happening, but like it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
There's an artist in West Craig who does daily class. That'd be kind of cool. See him do something.
Yeah, I can see
I'm
that.
kind of just happy with the careers they have right now. I don't know any careers that I feel like would fit. Maybe Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire's kind of got that weird vibe. They could work well.
The names that I know a few people have mentioned and I would love to see, of course you have the obvious, like, I think most people want Becky Cloonan involved a little bit more.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Because, she's doing awesome covers, but I'm sure she's got her hands full. She's got, like, so many other books and projects right now going on, so I'm sure she's busy. But her, and of course you have, like, Gabriel Baugh and people like that who... I feel like will one day be involved. They're just waiting for the right project or the right thing. But we've already got some crazy names. I mean, the fact that James O'Barr has a cover for Doom Patrol is still weird.
I can't wait for that cover.
Yeah.
Maybe James Togo, something like that.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of cool.
I would love to see just more and more of these names that are either underground or represent a part of the underground. And I mean, like you said, they're doing a great job so far. Of every talent they've hired, everyone who's worked, even on a cover, has been someone that has this really cool background or really cool future ahead. And I really love that they're paying that much attention to everyone they work with.
Yeah, and it's impressive. Like, it's all been solid guys. Like, it kills me when I buy a book because I'm like, do I want the regular cover by this guy? I want this cover by this guy.
Yeah.
I don't buy like book covers now. It's annoying.
Yeah, that was kind of how I was with Metal, where there were so many covers, but then ultimately it's like, oh, basically the main cover, they're kind of the coolest. So I'll just stick with those, and then
That was the only cover I actually liked, and I had a chance to get all the other ones, and I could care less about them. So
Yeah,
I'm not actually a lead guy, so that's a lot of it too.
I got a few more, but mostly because Jacques had a couple of 3 variants, but they were only to one shop, and I bought those because they were gorgeous, and I was a sucker for Jacques art.
Jacques good.
Yeah, so that's another one I would love to see him do something with Young Animal, but I feel like he is so much covers and stuff seems to be his focus as of the past little bit. I mean, I know Witches and a few other books coming out that are also amazing, but I know he has his style of art takes a while and it's worth it, but I wonder if he could keep up. Well, I say that, but Young Animal has a more lax schedule, so he probably could.
Apparently.
Yeah. Well, that's the question that, I've been asking a few people too is, what do you think is going on with the hiatus? Like, do you have any clue what's, like, you think they're building?
I have no idea. I mean,
either.
It's one of those things that, like, at first with, like, the Doom Patrol, well, Jar's got 50-year projects, whatever.
Yeah.
And everything else beyond hiatus and 12-issue runs, it's like, okay, is it not selling enough for them? Is that the concern? Is it, is it just personal, or everybody's busy with their own, like, other project stuff, too? Like, what's going on? I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I have no clue, because everyone so far, all the creators, when they've talked about it, definitely talk like they're all coming back and they're all doing stuff. And then there's the weird place where Bug is right now, where it's, the next issue's coming out and it's not canceled and it's not really a hiatus. It's somewhere in between for the final 2 issues.
Yeah, seriously, none of it makes sense.
Yeah, so. I don't know on any of that. Of course, I want all the Young Animal and Doom Patrol and Bug and Cave and Mother Panic and Shade I can get. But if it does, if it's just like a creative retreat, I'm fine with that. They just kind of do what Valiant does, where it's almost like after an arc ends, they take a break for a while and come back with the new arc. I'm fine with that. Or after they feel like they've finished their big over arc, that'd be fine.
Yeah, that's what I kind of a feeling that's going on. They're doing like the Image thing, where it's like, okay, 12 issues, break.
Yeah.
And then we get to the next thing. That's the vibe I got, so I don't really care much about it. Personally, for my budget, though, I'm like, okay, I can take a break on this book for a while. Awesome.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm fine with that if that's what's going on. It was just a very odd announcement where it kind of came from nowhere, and there wasn't a lot of meat to the bone. It was just a lot of, yeah, this is what's happening. We'll know more in the future. But to all accounts, it seems to be, when it comes to Jim Lee and DiDio and people like that, they seem to be very happy. I mean, everything we've heard is them expanding Young Animal and them working more on it. So it seems like it's all good. And after talking to you and everyone else I've interviewed, there's definitely a ton of passion and heart and love for these books in the community. And it's something more akin to a band than it is to a comic book line. And I know that's what they were going for, and they're definitely succeeding in that regard.
It definitely feels more like that, like underground comic scene than anything else. Even in the mainstream area, it just feels super like everybody reads them. Your older fans are kind of like, what are these things? Why do we care? And younger guys are like, I get it. And you're like, you do? Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of has that, the art spirit of Sandman mixed with that, like, just love and admiration of a Hellboy or Spawn or somebody, and just caught somewhere in the middle where it's like, it's got that punk rock feel, and the people that get it, and the people that don't seem to just look away and not understand what's going on. And
shop owner that I was with for a while, who read Doom Patrol #1, and he's an old school comic guy type person. And he read that thing, and he was like, what is this? I don't understand it at all. How does this make sense to you? I'm like, it makes sense to me.
Thank you so much for everyone I interviewed for this first part of this Young Animal series, this Young Animal little mini audio documentary I've been working on. It's gone on a little bit longer and taken a little bit longer to all get together than I wanted to, but it's been a passion project, and I've loved talking to everyone I've met so far. All of you have been amazing. And a huge thank you to everyone who has written an issue for Young Animal, drawn, colored, lettered, everybody from the top down, editors. Thank you so much for giving everyone these amazing books, and people like me and those you've heard tonight, a connective tissue that we really care about and feel very passionate about. So thank you. I'm hoping to make more of these, whether you're listening on iTunes or SoundCloud, whether you're on YouTube. Please tell me what you thought of this. Like, subscribe, share, anything and everything. Whether you hated it, loved it, let me know. Thank you so much for listening, and hopefully there will be more of these in the very near future.